Hey folks, let's learn something new about the oil and gas industry. Okay, oil and gas keynote speaker, how to do it right. If you're giving a keynote, if you're an oil and gas keynote speaker, a couple of things that you need to do to make sure that you nail it, that you give good value for the people that are paying you to speak. First thing, understand the purpose of the event. Why are they putting the event on? Is it a conference? Is it an expo? Is it an education seminar? Is it internal? Is it external? Why are they doing it? Is it team building, right? Are they trying to pass on some type of new messaging? Is the company going through a merger or acquisition? Do they have a new product or service? Whatever it is, without understanding the purpose of that event, you actually can't build a good keynote. Then once you understand the purpose of that event, do a very deep dive into the expected audience. Learn who's going to be there, their titles, their roles, their positions, right? If it's a big conference, what is the conference theme? What's the conference about? Who typically attends the conference? If you are doing a conference or expo, talk to the promoters of the conference. They can help you understand exactly who that audience is. But you have to understand who that exact audience is so you can make sure you can tell a good story to them. Then, here's a big one for me and everybody else out there that speaks professionally. Stop the slides, the PowerPoint decks with all the text and the spreadsheets and all that sort of stuff. You need to tell a story. If you're gonna have a deck, pictures are a great way to accomplish that story. Think about the TED Talks you see, right? How much do you see them putting up Excel spreadsheets? You never see that. If you could put up a graph, make it simple, easy to understand. The focus needs to be on you, the oil and gas keynote speaker, not on what you have going on behind you. Then, be entertaining, but be careful here, right? If you have too much entertainment, if you have too much humor in the wrong place, it can be deadly when you're doing an oil and gas keynote speech, right? Humor is what lubricates the story. It doesn't replace the story. The story is the most important thing. Then, pacing is more important than length, right? If you go too fast, people can't pay attention, right? And they lose track of stuff. If you go too slow, you put people to sleep. A good keynote can be anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, but the pace is way more important than the length. Then, this is huge. You have to be a good storyteller and you have to tell real stories, right? So you have to tell real stories that involve you or the people around you that fit into what you're trying to accomplish as an oil and gas keynote speaker. You have to be a good storyteller. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of online courses. There's a lot of good blog posts out there. There's a lot of really good stuff to teach you how to be a storyteller, but you have to be a storyteller first and foremost, and you have to use real stories if you want to be an oil and gas keynote speaker. Then, this is huge. You have to connect with your audience. I'm doing it right now, right? I'm talking to you about stuff that's important, stuff that you have an interest in. I'm giving you some real value. I am connecting with my audience, even though this is on video. It's even more important when you do it in person. You have to connect with the audience. If you connect with your audience, you feel it. The audience feels it. And they go along with you for the ride that you're bringing them on as you tell this story. Then, here's another real big one for us. You have to be genuine. If somebody asks you to do a keynote that you can't do effectively, you need to tell them, I can't do that keynote, right? If you came to us, if you came to me and said, Mark, I want you to do a keynote speaker in electrical distribution, I would tell you, no, I can't do a good keynote around that because I don't know that world. My world's oil and gas. So you have to be genuine. Then in today's world, if you're gonna be a good oil and gas keynote speaker, you have to use social. You have to use social to promote the event ahead of time, which is what you're being paid to do, right? You have to use it during the event. There's all kinds of ways. Think of all the different lives, Periscope, Facebook Live. All that stuff helps build a buzz for both you and your speaking career and for the event that you're helping with your keynote. So you have to be involved in social media. If you struggle with that, find somebody who can help you with it. That amplifies your ability to tell a good story immensely. You know, if you have Periscope going to Facebook Live going while you're in front of an audience of 1,000 people, you may be actually doing a keynote in front of 6,000 or 8,000 people. Think how huge that is and how impactful it is. Then, when you're finished, you have to leave the audience feeling good. And that can be 2 or 3 different things, right? Did you tell a good, heartfelt, emotional story that made them feel good, right? The kind of whole Rocky thing where you pumped them up. Did you give them some valuable and useful information when they walked out and go, wow, I didn't know that. This is something I can actually use, right? Regardless of how you do it, you have to end your keynote leaving the audience feeling good. Now do me a favor, if you found this valuable, can you share this on social media? There's some buttons either to my left or right below me where you can just click. This helps us get our story out to more people so that more people get the benefit of what we're trying to do. So folks, I hope this helped. We will see you next time.